welcome to 2025.
And now that the Department of Government Efficiency exposes USAID, CBS attempts to fact check.
Let's drill down on this because you're going to be hearing a lot about USAID in the weeks to come. It's not been without criticism from both sides of the aisle. So let's break it down with Olivia Rinaldi. Let's get really granular because we know that DOGE is getting really granular. What are some of the policy positions? What are some of the directions the money has flowed that has really caused some people on both sides of the aisle to be in question?
Yeah, Reed, a lot of questions about how USAID actually spends their money. Our Confirmed team went through and looked at line by line where some of this money gets spent. And let me just read through some of these reports that we have found. There was a claim from the Trump administration that about $2 million was spent in USAID funds for a Moroccan pottery class. That is true. In 2009, USAID allotted about $27 million for an economic development project in Morocco. Now, pottery is an economic engine there, and their tile industry is world-renowned. A lot of tourists go there and make pottery. That's something that happens. But the question remains of why U.S. taxpayer dollars are being used to fund a program like this that was later found to be, quote, ineffective. There was also a claim that $20 million was spent on a Sesame Street show created for Iraq. This is also true. USAID used about $20 million of partner funding to work with the Sesame Street Workshop to produce a program that would promote inclusion, mutual respect, and understanding across ethnic, religious, and sectarian groups. That is a quote from their website. And this project was supposed to run from 2021 to 2027. Another claim that our team had fact-checked and looked at was that there was a $70,000 DEI musical that was being produced in Ireland. Also true. The Department of State, as a part of a public diplomacy program, awarded about $70,000 in 2022 for a live musical event that would promote the U.S. and Irish shared values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is all a part of government records. And just finally, another one that I want to read to you that we found as a part of our look at this line-by-line item was another eye-popping figure, about $9 million of funds that were supposed to be used for food and medical supplies for Syrian civilians actually ended up in the hands of a terrorist. This is someone who was using these funds, diverting them to terrorist organizations, including one that's affiliated with Al-Qaeda. So there are a lot of questions surrounding USAID, and of course they do good work when it comes to vaccines. People I've talked to who were even critical about the way some of these funds were spent say that their work on PEPFAR to combat HIV, AIDS in countries all across the world is significant and has actual tangible results. But when you look line by line at some of how these $40 billion of funds allocated by Congress are actually spent, there's a lot in here leaving a lot of questions to a lot of people.
Right, and a lot of people wanting to trace the votes of who greenlit some of these things that spends U.S. taxpayer dollars. It really punctuates what President Trump said about the America First agenda.
So, USAID has funded terrorism, amongst many other things. Let's see the complainers.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cory Booker, and it is time for us to fight. And let's be clear. Let's be clear about how we can fight. The Republicans won the White House. They won the House of Representatives. They won the United States Senate. They have majorities across Congress, but we are not powerless. We have agency. And we all must join together and fight in these ways. But the first thing we cannot do is allow them to weaken us by us turning against each other.
Oh, don't worry, civilians are waking up.
A coalition that grows and grows and grows. There can be no bystanders in this fight. It is time that we understand the only thing necessary for wrong to triumph is for right to do nothing, for right to be silent.
There's no way we can let these hypocrites win the midterms.
And welcome to 2025.